Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape lately, you've probably heard some whispers, some rumors that could shake up the AFC North in a way we haven't seen in quite some time. And no, I'm not just talking about the usual off-season chatter. This is about a move that could redefine the Steelers' offensive potential, especially when it comes to maximizing the talents of their new quarterback, Kenny Pickett, and giving the team that extra boost to contend for another Super Bowl appearance. It's all about adding that missing piece in the passing game, and surprisingly, it might come from a familiar face, a player who has a history with Aaron Rodgers, and who could be available for a trade soon. That's right, we're talking about Christian Watson, the talented but often injury-plagued wide receiver from Green Bay. Now, to understand the significance of this potential move, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. Christian Watson, the 26-year-old receiver, has shown flashes of brilliance during his time with the Packers, especially in 2022, when he caught 7 touchdowns from Rodgers, showcasing his incredible speed and playmaking ability. But the thing is, Watson's journey in Green Bay hasn't always been smooth sailing. Injuries, notably that torn ACL in Week 18 last season, have hampered his development and kept him off the field at critical moments. Yet, when healthy, Watson has proven to be a true deep threat, someone who can stretch defenses and open up the field for everyone else. And with Green Bay having invested early draft picks in the position, it's clear the Packers see him as a key piece moving forward. But now, with the team also bringing in rookies like Matthew Golden and Savion Williams, there's talk that Watson's spot on the roster could be in jeopardy, especially if he's recovering from injury and not immediately ready to go. So, why are the Steelers interested? Well, Pittsburgh has been quietly building an explosive offense, especially after the addition of Alan Lazard and the continued development of George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. But what's missing? A true number 1 receiver, someone who can consistently win on the outside and help take the pressure off their young quarterback. DK Metcalf has been mentioned as the deep threat, but the Steelers are looking for more versatility, more explosiveness in their passing game, and that's where Watson could come into play. Imagine him lining up next to Pickens, providing that speed element that defenses have to respect, creating mismatches and opening up the middle of the field for Najee Harris or even a quick screen to Pat Freiermuth. It's a combination that could elevate the Steelers' offense from good to elite. But here's the thing. The trade rumors are just that, rumors for now. Nothing is set in stone. Green Bay's front office has a lot of options, especially with rookies showing promise, and the teams need to manage their roster cap and future draft plans. Still, the possibility that Watson could be available is intriguing, particularly for a team like the Steelers, who have the assets and the offensive scheme that could maximize his talents. And let's not forget, Watson's best season came with Rodgers throwing him the ball. That connection, that chemistry, could be rekindled in Pittsburgh, and for Steelers fans, that's an exciting thought. Now, you might be wondering what other options the Steelers are exploring. They've been linked to other wide receivers in the draft and free agency, but the idea of bringing in a veteran who already has chemistry with Rodgers adds a layer of familiarity, comfort, and immediate impact. Pittsburgh's front office has shown they're willing to make bold moves to push the team over the top, and acquiring a player like Watson could be just that. It's all about adding that extra spark that can make the difference in tight games late in the season or during the playoffs. Let's talk a little about the AFC North, because this division has been fiercely competitive for years now. The Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, have been a force offensively, with their dynamic trio of receivers and a resilient offensive line. The Baltimore Ravens, with Lamar Jackson, are always a threat with their dual-threat quarterback and a stout defense. And of course, the Cleveland Browns, who have invested heavily in their roster, especially on defense, and are looking to make a serious push with Deshaun Watson now fully integrated into their system. So for the Steelers, this is not just about improving their offense. It's about staying competitive in a division where every game counts, and every edge can make the difference between playoff glory and an early offseason. Now, looking ahead to the upcoming season, expectations are high in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett showed flashes of brilliance last year, and with a few more weapons around him, many analysts believe he could take that next step and become a franchise quarterback. The Steelers have a solid defense, as always, with T.J. Watt leading the charge, and their special teams are among the best in the league. But to truly contend, the offense needs to be more consistent, more explosive. That's why adding a player like Watson, especially if he's healthy and in form, could be the piece that turns Pittsburgh into a true contender once again. Of course, the Steelers aren't just sitting around waiting for trades to happen. They're actively exploring options, including potential draft picks and other veteran signings, to ensure they're ready for the challenge. But if they manage to land Watson, it would send a clear message to the rest of the league. Pittsburgh is serious about returning to the top, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. The fans, the city, all of Steelers Nation, would rally behind that move, knowing that it could be the difference maker in their quest for Super Bowl number 7. And speaking of Super Bowls, the Steelers have a storied history of championship success, with 6 Lombardi trophies to their name, tied for the most in NFL history. They've been known for their tough, disciplined style of play, a defense that strikes fear into opponents, and a never-say-die attitude that has carried them through decades of NFL seasons. But in recent years, they've been on the cusp, just missing that final push. Adding new offensive weapons, especially ones with playoff experience and chemistry with Rodgers or others, is part of Pittsburgh's plan to finally break that elusive barrier again and return to the glory days. It's worth noting that the offseason is the perfect time for these kinds of moves. Trade talks, roster reshaping, strategic signings, they all happen now, setting the stage for what promises to be an exciting season. And for Steelers fans, every piece of news, every rumor, every confirmed move fuels that hope, that belief that this could be the year Pittsburgh reclaims its spot at the top of the NFL mountain. The team has the foundation, the coaching staff, and now, potentially, the personnel that can elevate them to that next level. Plus, let's not forget the strategic aspect. Steelers' front office has been known for their careful planning, their ability to identify undervalued talent, and their willingness to take calculated risks. If they see Watson as a low-cost, high-reward option, they'll jump on it, especially if it means giving Kenny Pickett a legitimate number 1 target to grow with. It could be a move that pays dividends for years to come, not just in 2024, but for the franchise's future. Now, I want to touch a little on the broader implications. If Pittsburgh manages to acquire Watson, it's not just about upgrading the offense. It's about sending a message to the rest of the AFC North that they're serious contenders again. It's about keeping pace with Cincinnati's explosive offense, matching Baltimore's versatility, and making Cleveland's defense work even harder. It's about creating a balanced team that can adapt to whatever challenges come their way, whether it's in the regular season or deep into the playoffs. And let's be honest, Steelers fans, we all know that Pittsburgh's identity has always been built on resilience, grit, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. Adding a talented receiver like Watson, who can stretch the field and create big plays, fits perfectly into that identity. It's about building a team that can grind out wins when needed, but also dominate when the opportunity arises. That's the kind of football that has made the Steelers a legendary franchise, and it's exactly what they're aiming for now. So, as we look ahead to the coming weeks, keep your eyes peeled for any official news. The NFL offseason is unpredictable, and deals can come together quickly or fall apart just as fast. But one thing is clear, the Steelers are actively exploring ways to improve, and a potential trade for Christian Watson could be one of the most exciting developments this summer. It's a move that could give Pittsburgh that extra spark, that extra edge, to push them over the top and into Super Bowl contention once again. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this possible trade? Do you think Watson would be the perfect fit alongside Pickens and Johnson? Are you excited about the potential of rekindling that Rodgers-Watson connection in Pittsburgh? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest news, analysis, and everything Steelers related. This is a team with a rich history, a passionate fan base, and a bright future. Let's keep the conversation going and see how this offseason unfolds. Thanks for riding along, and as always, go Steelers.